So dear participants, welcome to the second day of this STC. Today for the first session we have with us Mr. Devinder Dhawan, who is working as technical manager with Touch Techno Delhi. He will be taking today's session on using Multisim Live software for basic electronics labs. Mr. Devinder Dhawan is having experience of application engineers with more than 3 years of working with education, private, government, defense sector, and where he worked to promote various products like embedded development and testing tools, data acquisition and analysis tools, PCB designing and testing, and he has also expertise in NI LabVIEW, data acquisition cards, NI multi-SIM tool. Then he has a very strong hold on various programming languages like C++ and assembly language programming of various microcontrollers, microprocessors. He has worked on ARM controllers as well as on Arduino platforms. He has been associated with the IoT technologies like LoRaWAN technology and using the network and application servers for IoT. So about the education front, so Mr. Devinder Dhawan has done his post-graduation in business administration from MIT University, post-graduation in electronics from University of Delhi, and graduation in electronics also from University of Delhi. So he's a certified LabVIEW associate developer, and he has strong interest in various electronics communication related softwares and NI multi-SIM tool which he is going to discuss. He has a very good expertise on this tool. We have earlier also organized jointly many sessions on this multi-SIM live simulator used for various labs. So I am hopeful that today's session will be very beneficial for all for the chosen topic. So with this brief introduction, I invite Mr. Devenderji to take over the session and start today's discussions.
Thank you, Dhaliwal sir, for the introduction, and good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing fine. So we'll start, as said, with the day 2 of this ongoing STC, where we are trying to learn new tools which can be used to basically what you can say to promote online labs in a way. Okay, so this tool that we are trying to use is free of cost, but obviously there is a paid version of it also, which will have multiple other things. Okay, so that we'll see if required. You can buy the tool also, but for our purpose, the basic free tool is more than enough. Okay, so let me just share my screen 1 second. 1 second. So hope, I guess, you all can see the screen now.
So,
Okay, so we'll move forward. Okay, so you guys have seen the tool yesterday in a session conducted by Dr. Dhaliwal itself. So we'll just quickly go through the platform also. We'll just take 5 minutes on it, and then we'll quickly try to jump into what all we are going to do today. Okay, but before we go there, I would like to 1 second. So this would be the objective that we are going to do today. Like we'll see this simulator, basic introduction, and then we'll see what all components are there. like you might have already seen some of the digital components yesterday, but I will go. I'll go through what all things are there. Then how we can simulate something. I'll give you a small demo, and then we'll try to do a basic electronics lab, like Ohm's law is there, Kirchhoff law is there, then basic rectifier circuits are there, IV characteristic for a diode is there. So all these experiments we'll try to do. Okay. So like anyway, we know that remote lab culture is growing, and because of this COVID pandemic, it is getting difficult to conduct labs. So in that case, we have these sort of platform which will help us or enable us to perform some sort of lab experiments at a level. Okay, so these are some of the major ECE labs, basic electronics, which will conduct what we are trying to do today, like normal electronic laws, like Ohm's or Kirchhoff's, then IV characteristic for diode, or some full half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, and then in full wave also there are 2-3 different type of circuits. Okay, then advanced electronics lab is there, where we go into from diode we jump to transistors. Then there are various transistor configuration also, like common base, common emitter, common collector, and all those sort of circuits. Then digital you have already seen. Op-amp also we can do here. Okay, we cannot do embedded systems here. For that we have another tool which can be used, which is Tinkercad. Okay, power electronics also till some level we can do, and communication lab also the basic things we can try to do here. Okay, so the
Sir,
components that sorry,
what about the embedded system? I could not get it, sir.
sir, embedded system in this platform we cannot program or we cannot simulate any microcontroller. For that we have another platform called Tinkercad. You might already be aware about it. So Tinkercad is something you can use here, which is an online free simulator also. Okay. Now
Okay,
some of the basic components that we need in a lab is a multimeter, a oscilloscope, transistor, diode, capacitor, inductor, resistance, and a power supply. These are very basic components that we need. Okay, and if any tool is having all these equipments, somehow we can try to do most of the electronics lab that are there. Okay, so these are things that we need even in a physical lab also. Okay, so okay, I'll switch to an online demo now for Multisim live. Okay, so you guys have seen already how this thing looks like feature wise. If we go here, I already have my account here. If you want, I can just show you how you can start from the beginning. Let me just log out from here. Okay, so once you come to you can just go to Google and search Multisim Live. Okay, so the first link that comes up is this. Okay, so Multisim Live is a bit different than Multisim in a way. Like Multisim is used to be an offline tool. Okay, Multisim is actually a very popular tool for circuit simulation. It's a SPICE-based tool for circuit simulation. But Multisim Live is an online tool. Okay, it's a cloud-based tool. So for Multisim, you basically need the software setup, and then you will install it in a laptop or a PC, and then you will use it. Okay, so you cannot use it online. Okay, so it has to be offline. Okay, then the feature that it adds Multisim Live here is that you don't need to install anything in a laptop or a system. You can just log in from anywhere, anytime, and then you can just start working on it. Okay, so this would be the page that will come up, Multisim Live. Okay, so first of all, we'll just go to login. If you don't have login, you will have to create an account. Okay, so I'll show you both also. So if you're new to this platform, so you have to create your account, and you will just have to add your name, basically your ID, then your name here. Okay, then role in your current organization, then your company name, email address, password, and then you will just hit create account, and it will send a verification email. Once you verify that, and it will be done. Okay, it's very simple process to register here. Okay, 1 second, system is hanging up. Okay, so it is a very simple process. So I already have my account, so I will just log in here. One second. Okay, so this would be the first page that you will end up on. Okay, so here you can see multiple things are there, like feature, pricing, circuits, resources. So resources, where you will find various help documents, like how to get started if you need any help, or idea exchange. There's a good support forum also, or some facts about this platform which you can look here. Okay, so let us just open one of this. Okay, so I'll show you the feature also, like expanding the multisim experience. Multisim was for desktop, as they themselves have written for here. Okay, it allows user to take the same simulation technology used in academic institute anywhere. You just have to log in somewhere. Okay, creates circuit simulation on any OS. Initially, what was the issue? Like for Windows, there's a separate setup. For Linux, there's a separate setup. For Mac, there's a separate setup. But in this, you don't need any. It is free of any operating system. You just have to have a browser, and you just have to log in here. Okay, so this is another feature here. Then interactive circuit simulation with no installation. Like I said, that you don't need to install anything. You can just log in and do your experimentation here. Same industry standard SPICE model is also here. Okay, so you don't have to be worried about, okay, if it follows the SPICE model or not. Okay, share your circuit with brilliance. Share your circuit brilliance. So you can share this circuit with people. You can share your results also. You can share the circuit diagram also. You can download the Excel file, and then you can see it also. Okay, so all that things are here. Complete circuit teaching solution is here. Like you can just basically you can teach a lot of circuitry here, as we are discussing. Most of the electronics lab can be done here. Okay, new feature all the time. Okay, so one more thing is, like if we install any of the software, what happens, like with time, company adds new features into it, and somehow we don't get it, or even if we get it, we have to update, we have to get the new setup, and then we have to install it again. So in this case, you don't need that, because it's an online system. You're not installing anything anywhere. So it is already installed somewhere in the NI cloud. Okay, and you will get the latest version every time you log in. Okay. Then stream circuit simulation from Multisim Live to Measurement Live, which basically is another another tool from them. Okay, so we'll not go there, but that is also a very good tool which you can use for measuring the data from real world. Okay, so these are some of the features that we have in Multisim Live. Okay, so for this thing, it is actually a very good platform. Okay, now here you can see that a getting started guide is here. Okay, so create circuit. First of all, like here you can see, I will have to just click on this, open it, create an account, sign in, then start a new design with the create circuit button. This one here. Okay, then please place component for an RC filter, AC voltage source, resistor, capacitor, basic RC circuit. Complete your circuit with the ground, okay, and wire connections. Then set your circuit parameter like capacitor value, resistance value, then voltage value, okay, and then you can run some AC sweep also that I'll show you later on, and then you will have the graph. Okay, so this I will show you. Okay, so once we just click on this, what we will get is this. Okay, this is a blank page that we have here. Okay, so it is this page is like a breadboard. Okay, so it is right now in an empty breadboard. We don't have any components over here. So what we'll do, this is the schematic where we will make our circuit. Then this is the area where we will see our graph. Like if there's any voltage or current waveform that I want to see, I will see it here. Like we used to have on oscilloscope. Now there's a screen on oscilloscope where we see all these waveforms. Okay, and if you want to see both of them together, then you can click on this. So here you will have your circuit, and then here you will have your waveforms. Okay, so now this is about our working area, but where are the components? Can anyone tell me on the screen where I can find my components?
Left side, sir.
Yes, on the left side. So you see there's a total bar here which we can use. Okay, so as you can see, there are various blocks here. So what we will do, we will try to see all of them now, and then we will see what all components are there inside them. Okay, so first one is this. This is a search button that will be handy later on. So this one is first, which is analysis and annotations. Okay, so if I click over it, this will open up. So these are basically probes. Like when I make a circuit and I want to measure some particular signal, what I do, I connect a probe there across that particular signal, and then that probe goes to a DSO. Okay, so if I want to measure any signal, I will use a probe. So we have a voltage probe, we have a current probe, we have a probe which can measure both of them. Then there's a reference voltage probe which will come handy later on, that I will tell you how this one works. Then we have a text annotation. We have, if we want to assign anything to any particular area, we can use this. Then there's a digital probe. Digital probe is also like it will show you voltage like 0, 1, 0, 1 only. Okay, you can use a normal probe only, but it will show you 0 to 5 volt or 3. It won't show 0 to 1. Okay, so 0 to 1 is a digital probe. Okay, so these are about probes. How we can place it, that also we'll see later on. First, let us just analyze what all things we have. Now the second block is schematic connectors. So if I open it, first thing is a ground here, then a connector here, then a junction is also here. Okay, so these things will help us. These two will help us make our circuit, and ground, as we all know, is important for our circuit. Without that, it won't work. So this will also be coming handy later on. Then the third block is sources. So if we go under sources, you can see there are various sources that are available in the palette. Okay, so these sources are different sources like AC voltage source, AC current source, clock voltage, clock current, triangular voltage, triangular current, even DC voltage, DC current, step voltage. All this different things are here. Even noise is also here. So if you want to deliberately add some noise in your circuit, you can add it. Okay, so these are some of the sources that we might need for different setup that we have. Okay, okay, so we'll move forward. Then the next palette is passive palette. And under passive, you can see we have resistance, we have capacitor, inductor, a potentiometer is there, fuse is there, transformer is there, coupled inductor is there, and then some resistors are there, like voltage control resistor, impedance block is also there. Okay, so these are some of the passive components that we have. Okay, so generally we'll be sticking to these three, and in some cases we'll be using these things also. And transformer, I'll show you. We have one primary, one secondary transformer. We have one primary, one secondary with center tap also. We have one primary and two secondary also here. Okay, so different type of transformers are also here, which we will try to utilize in our coming circuits. Okay, then the next palette is analog palette. Under that we have 3-terminal op-amp, 5-terminal op-amp, then an ideal comparator is there, which is actually another op-amp circuit only. Then a 555 timer is there, and if we go under here, you can see some specific op-amp ICs are also here, like UA741, LM324A. These are some specific op-amp IC. So what you see here, one second, here, this 3-terminal and 5-terminal op-amp, these are generic op-amps. Okay, so we can try to make them specific also. That I will show you later on how we can do it. Okay, we use some particular ICs or some particular diode or particular op-amp IC, so that also we can make these generic components into the specific
Yes,
components later. Is there any question? Okay, I'll move on. So we can try to make these generic component as a specific component also, that I will tell you later on how you can do it. Okay, then we have diodes, like a normal diode, PN diode, Zener diode is there, LED is there. The general purpose diode, where we have this particular part number. Okay, so this is, and then under transistors we have NPN, NPN40, PNP, PNP40, NMOS is there, then JFET is there, PMOS is there, and then NPN, PNP, and NMOS. We have some specific part numbers also, like this is the NPN, some specific part numbers. Okay, then under PNP we have this particular part number here, and then under NMOS we have this particular part number. Okay. So SPICE model for these part numbers are already here. Okay, and if we go under this is indicators. Indicators may we have lamps, LEDs, 8 LED bar, and a buzzer. Okay, these are our actuator, which will show us some sort of level. Okay, then we have switches here. Okay, so these are different kind of switches that you can use here. Okay, all sort of different switches here, but most of the time we'll be using the generic one. Then some modeling blocks are here: voltage controlled voltage source, voltage controlled current source, current controlled voltage source. So these are some different modeling blocks that you could use in your experiments later on. Then we have some electromechanical component also, like a normal open relay, normally closed relay, combinational relays are there. Then under machines we have DC machine permanent magnet, DC machine wound field. Then on motion controllers we have this anger RAM. So there are many things that are there. Okay. Then under power we have this linear regulator LM317 IC. Then under digital we have all this and OR gates. Then digital constant is there. In the last, what do we have? Okay, XNOR buffer or inverter also is there. Okay, so you might have used some of these yesterday. Okay, so we'll not go into those. Okay, so this is how this setup looks like. Okay, so if we go here, and if I show you some of the feature of the free model, like free subscription, what do we get? We get access, we get schematic capture, SPICE simulation, file sharing, embedded circuits, Streaming data to measurement live, which is another software. Component per circuit are 25. I cannot use component more than 25 on one circuit here. Then component library is basic, as we have already seen what all components are here in this library. It's a pretty basic library, which is actually good enough. And simulation type are 4. If I show you like this, these are some simulation type which you will see later on what all these are. Okay. Then edit model, private files, all these features are not here. And if you see the paid version, you have all these things like unlimited components you can add, advanced library will be there. There will be 2 more types of simulations and all this edit model, private files, export to multisim 14 or expression plotter, all these things would be there. Okay, so you can learn more for this here. You have to basically buy a license for this particular tool. Okay. And as I was showing you some of the tools here, so circuit, under circuit, you see, we have seen these tabs, like feature we have seen. We have seen pricing tab, which is this, this one. And then we have resources, which will basically help us with learning some stuff. Then we have some circuits like my circuit, my favorite, my group, public circuits, reference circuit, groups. So one more thing is good thing is here, like there is this option like public circuits. So if I open this public circuit option, let's see what happens. Okay, so you see multiple people have made some circuits and they have made it public. Okay, so you can see all the different circuits are here, like online simulator, simple buck converter, digital to analog converter. Then you have 555 variable here, sine to square wave. Then online simulation again, window comparator, then Mac, flyback converter, all this different circuits are here. Okay. So you see this was of one page, there are roughly 1 lakh pages. Okay. So if I want to search for some particular circuit, let's say half wave rectifier. I will just type in here and I will just search. Okay. So what will happen? It will search all the public circuits and.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Yeah, sir, I request you
Yeah, tell
to
me.
stop sharing and kindly present your screen again. And I request the participants not to share their screen.
So I shared my screen back. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay, so I should carry forward now.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, so where were we? Okay, here. So now we searched for what half wave rectifier. So whichever circuit will have a tag of half wave rectifier, it will show me. Like you can see, there is this half wave rectifier, 3-phase Y half wave rectifier, half wave rectifier with capacitor input filter. So all those different type of half wave rectifier circuits it has shown me. Okay. So what we can do, I can just simply, if I let's say want to open this one, so I will just click on it. I will click on this open circuit. It will show me who has made it and how many circuits it has and at what time that person made it. Like it was 5 years back. So this is a circuit that this person has made. So what we'll do, we'll just try to run the circuit and see if it is having anything. There are some errors in this circuit. Okay, I guess that would be okay. So if I run this circuit now, you can see this waveform. There we have a half wave rectified output. Okay, so this is working fine. Okay, if you want to just see the graph, just want to see the schematic. If you want to see the board, so you can see
the negative half. Excuse me, sir. The negative half seems to be much longer than the positive peak.
No, there is no negative half in this case.
Okay,
is halfway
zero,
rectified,
zero,
no?
zero, zero level, sir.
So
The
yes,
clipped negative part. This seems to be much longer
yes,
as
it
compared to
is.
the positive.
So anyway, that
That
would
is
be
what I
some
have found.
criteria that they have used. Maybe some changes we
Yeah.
can try to do here and see if it's somehow tried. Let me just show you.
Sir, because they have used only 1 volt as input.
Exactly.
Only.
So that depends upon what they have done. So anyway, what I will do, I will just try to. No, I'm just right now trying to show you that you can see all the circuits also. Okay. So again, currently you can see that this is not this is something same which we were discussing. Okay. So
Okay.
like
Sir, increase the input, then it will be all right.
sorry.
Increase the input, sir. Input volt is only 1 volt.
Yes, that is also there. So input voltage is 1 volt. If we increase it, let's say make it 5 volt, then let us see what it has. So again, something similar is there. So the negative time period is bit more than the positive time period. But anyway, this is some circuit. We are just trying to see. And obviously, there are some errors in the circuits, which we were able to see some errors. Like initially, it was showing na here. So we'll be making this circuit from on our own. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. So my purpose to show you the circuit is that you can use any of the public circuit that is there. Okay, so you can open this circuit here. Okay, so this person has made this circuit and it was made 5 years back. Okay, if any comments are there, you can see, or if you can want to just copy this circuit, you see 237 people have copied this circuit here. Okay, so you can also make a copy, like you can just click copy here. So what it will do, it will make a copy of this circuit. Okay, under your like if I go back here under my circuits here. Okay, so you can see copy of half wave rectifier. This is added here now. So this anyway I don't need this circuit, so I will delete it. Okay, so you can see I already have designed some other circuits: class A, B, class B amplifier, NPN common collector, common emitter, then NPN common emitter amplifier. Okay, this is a copy from someone. NPN common base amplifier, common collector, common base, then SR flip flop, mux, demux is here, full wave rectifier, and then again Ohm's law is here. Okay, so what I'll try to do, we will not go into this, we will just create a new circuit by clicking on this create circuit. Okay. So up till now, are there any questions? Are there any questions? Okay, if no, then I'll move forward. Give me a second.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me. Good morning.
Yesterday, Dr. Balwinder ji discussed some logic gate designs, and one part I think he said that I think it will be covered later on. That was that if the input signal is a string of binary data, like we have, if we can have a square wave input, and does the free version of this support that we can have a string of binary input, and so we can see the simultaneously the string binary input data and as well as string of binary output data. Does this freeware supports that? Because
Yes.
we can have 1 or 0 at a time. Can we have a string at a time?
Yes, so we can give a string also. Like under sources, if you see, we have a where is clock voltage. This can be used. So this basically will give you 1010 string input.
So it will be so nice of you if you can have a case of a digital circuit like this where you can have clock and so that we can
One second. So
make
let me
clear of
just
that.
show you that. One second. I'll give you AND here. Let's say 2 input AND. Okay, so this is a 2 input AND gate. Okay, and another point I will make it a constant. Okay, I'll just quickly go through it. I will connect it here. Okay, and then this one will come here. Okay, and we will need a ground. Okay, now what I will do, I will let's say connect the resistor here. Okay, then I will take a digital probe. I will place it here. Okay, and I will take another digital probe and I will place it here. I will take another digital probe and place it here. Okay, so I'm measuring both the inputs and the output also. So you can see color for output would be green, and this color would be for input number 1, which is our string input, and this would be the color for input 2, which is this, a constant input. Okay, so right now this is 0. So whatever input we give here will be transferred as 0 only. Okay, so let me just run it. Okay, so if we split the screen, you can see here that our green output is 0, our blue input 1 is a string input, and our second input is 0. Okay, so if I make it, let's say 1 now, you can see we have this string output also. So this basically depends on, yeah, tell me.
We want the combination, like we will check the truth table, no, 0 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. For that, all 4 combination of output can be observed in a single screen. For that, instead of DG, can you give a combination of zeros and 1 in the form of like clock pulse? Can we see the full 4 combination in a single screen? For the output?
What I would, okay, let me just show you that also. So what we'll do, we'll use a constant here again. Okay, so this is here only. So if I run it now, so you see this is 1. Right now both are 0 0. So the output is also 0. So if I make it 1 0, 1 and 0, so the output is again 0. So if I make it 1 1 now, output is 1.
Sir, we want all this 4 in a single screen. This 0 1, we are manually varying DG, no, sir, 0 1 1 0. Instead of
Yes.
that, all 4 can be shown in a single screen. Is it possible?
I have to check
Sir?
on that. 1 second.
That's
Yes,
what
sir.
we have
I
asked.
think just like signature analyzer, just like that string, can we feed a string? I think this is the question.
We have given only
That I will
one
check then,
input.
sir, if that is possible or not.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
One input only we are giving, no, so that we cannot get the same output at the window. Output window, I think so.
No, I didn't get you, ma'am.
Sir, we are giving only one test pattern as it's 0 0 or 0 1 or 1 0. Only we are giving, right? So we cannot
Yes.
get the same output at the same time in the split window.
Yes, yes, yes. So that we were doing, yes. That is correct. So 1 second. Maybe I can just try to address this right away. So what I'm doing, I'm using two different sources here now. If I run it, so you see here. So let me just focus on this graph only. So this is
And we vary the
1
time
1 is
period.
1, 0 0 is 0. Okay. Let me just decrease the frequency here. So I've made the frequencies are different
அம்மி
here.
நெக்ஸ்ட் 10:30 மணிக்கு கிளாஸ் இருக்கு, சாப்பிட்டியா? நெக்ஸ்ட் 10:30க்கு லிங்க் ஆயா போனுக்கு அனுப்பியிருக்கேன் பாரு, தமிழ் கிளாஸ்.
Okay, so now you can try to see here, like these are two different inputs. So 1 0 is 0, then 1 0 is again 0. So here 1 and 1 is 1. So this, I guess, is what you were asking for.
Partially, sir. We want it should be of equal pulses so that the output will also be equal the time period.
Okay,
Instead of
so
doing
anyway, I was just trying to give you that I will have to look into it. Maybe
Yes.
some phase difference we can add in the same square clock pulses, and then
So
we can try to. Sorry.
instead of sine wave, can you give a square wave and we check, sir? Instead of a sine wave, you are given no input sine wave.
No, I'm giving this clock. These two are input waves. We are giving clock here of different frequency. Like this is a 1K clock. This is a 500 hertz clock. That is why if you see the overlap between these two is very small, and that is where we have this one very small duty cycle of output. So anyway, I was just trying to give you what you were asking, like the truth table if you want to see. So 0 1 is again 0. So 1 0 is again 0. So here at this point it's line. Both the signals are 1, so you're getting a 1. As soon as this signal goes 0, this will again become 1 and 0. So again you have 0. So that way, truth table you can try to understand. But what you were asking, like with same waves, we can do it maybe with some phase difference.
Yes, sir. Maybe at later time you can show that, sir,
Yeah.
if possible.
So that I will look into it. Okay. So
Thank you, sir.
okay. So just let me delete. Okay. So any further questions on this or anything else up till now we have done?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we increase or decrease the size of this board?
So we can just zoom in, zoom out.
Zoom in and zoom out. Not the
Yeah.
the size is the fixed.
Yes.
Okay, we can zoom in and zoom out, but the size of the one thing is the fixed.
Because in this particular board we already have restriction of 25 number of components only.
Thank you,
So
sir.
that is why we are a bit restricted here. Okay. Any further questions? Okay, so I'll move forward. 1 second. Okay, so what we were doing. One second. Okay, 1 second. The system is hanging up. Okay, so we will look into Ohm's law now. Okay, we'll start with Ohm's law, then we'll look at Kirchhoff's law, and then some rectifier circuits. Okay, so Ohm's law is a pretty simple law. We all know that V equals to IR is the formula, and then you can derive these two based on this only. So if we increase the voltage, current should increase if the resistance is constant. Okay, so basically it should be a linear curve. Okay, so let us just try to make this. Okay, so what would we need first? One DC voltage source. Okay, and let's say one resistor is required. Okay, we'll just stick to the basic right now. Okay, so if I have all the components now. Okay, if I want to connect it, what I'll do, I'll just put my cursor on this terminal. So see the cursor changes to a wire roll. So single click, then move your cursor to the next terminal where you want to connect it. Then you will once you put it on that particular terminal, this you will see the circle is beeping. So single click again. So this wire is done. Okay, so put it on the another terminal now. Okay, trace the wire where you want to take it. Okay, then you will just put it on the terminal and then single click back. Okay, so let me just change. If you want to change the voltage, click on this and you can write anything here like 10 volts. If you want to change this, let's say let me make it let's say 100 ohms. Okay, so now I will connect the ground also because we know that ground is required. Okay, so I will put a voltage source here at the input. So this is a probe. So where you want to measure it is across. So now can anyone tell me why we are using a single terminal probe? Because generally what we know, probes are having two terminals, a red and a black wire. Why we are using just a single terminal probe here? Or can we make it two terminal?
Just as a reference.
Sorry?
The other terminal, ground can be used as a reference if single probe is used.
Okay, so we are saying that the second terminal on by default is the ground. Okay, so if I double click on this, you can see that voltage reference is ground here. Okay, so it will measure between this point and the ground. Okay, so which actually is what we want to do. Okay. Okay, so let's say if I want to measure between this point and this point, what would be the scenario in that case? Because in Ohm's law, we measure voltage between across resistance and current through resistance. So we have to measure between point across resistance, not from this point to ground. How do we do that? Can anyone tell me?
Reference voltage we should take, sir. Reference
Exactly.
point.
So under voltage, we had that voltage reference also. You could see now, I will just click here and I will put it here. So what I will do, I will just double click on this now. So you see earlier it is showing that voltage reference is ground. So if I click here now, you can see ref1. Reference is this one. This is ref1. So I can make it reference 1 now. So this voltage will measure between this point and this point. Okay. So this is how we basically work on probes and how to change the reference. Okay. So I will measure voltage around this. Okay. Then obviously I have to make measure current also, which I will measure at this probe, which is fine. So in this case, we don't need anything else. Okay. So if I, let's say, run the system now, and if I see the graph, let me split it. So the voltage is 3.4 and your current is 100 amp. 1 second. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just try to change the voltage.
10 volt, sir.
Sorry, sir?
The voltage is 10 volt.
No, we are measuring around this here right now. So you can see that it's 11 volt.
No,
It is 11 volt. Okay. I was reading the time. Yes, that was my bad. So let me just stop here. Okay, so let's say what we do. Just give me a second. Okay, so what we'll do in order to measure this, I will make it, let's say, 11 volt. I can open an Excel sheet. Okay, so this is my I. Second. And this is V. Okay, so if V is 11, for I is 110 milliamps. Okay, so what I will do, I will just try to make it, let's say, 10. And now if I run it, you see it becomes 100. So if it is 10, it will become 100. So what I will do, I will measure it on 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And then based on this, let us just see what it should come out. So on 9 volt, it becomes 90. Okay, so it becomes 90. So on 8 volt, it becomes 80. Similarly, we know that anyway with the calculation it will come like 70, 60 only. So if I, let's say, make it now 5 volt. So now it has become 50. So we know that it will be 70, 60, then 50 we have also seen. Then if, let's say, we make it 2 volt, it becomes 20 milliamp. 40, 30, 20, and obviously 10 would be there. So if we plot it now, one second. So you can see this maybe I did something wrong here. This only we need to plot. Just give me a second.
एक्सक्यूज सर।
Yes, sir.
सर ये टेबल जो आपने कहाँ से ड्रा किया है और ग्राफ कहाँ से ड्रा किया है, एक बार दोबारा एक्सप्लेन करेंगे?
So this data we recorded from the software, from the simulator, and I'll show you once again how we did it. You can see that it's a linear curve. My system is actually hanging today a lot, so getting some issues. Okay, so we received this data from the software here. Like the software is running, I made the voltage, let's say 1 volt. Then I saw, okay, the current is 10 amps. So I made an entry here. For 1 volt, it is 10 milliamps. Okay, similarly, what I did, I went again here and I made it, let's say 2 volts. And I saw that the current is 20 amps, 20 milliamps, sorry. And I again made an entry. For 2 volt, it is 20 milliamps. Similarly, we made all this. So we can see that it's a linear curve. So that is what our Ohm's law is. And one more thing we can try here. So let me just stop it. We can try to add another resistance here. Okay. And then if we run it, so now you can see that earlier if it was 2 volts, so 2 volts was dropping across it. But now it is not 2 volts. So let me make it 1K. So only 1 volt, both of the resistance are 1K. So it is 1 volt here and 1 volt here. So let me just copy another probe and put it here. It should also work as same here. So the reference also we have to copy. This is reference 2. Then here you can see reference 2. So 1 volt here, 1 volt here. The total of combined voltage is 2 volts. And the current is 1 amp. Okay, that is derived upon this. V equals to IR. So if I make it, let's say 20 volts, 10 and 10 volt here, and then 10 milliamp total. Okay, so this is how our Ohm's law is working. So generally in labs, what we do, we make a simple circuit where we put a resistance and variable resistance, a variable input source, and then we put a voltmeter across the resistance, and then an emitter in the circuit also. And then we ask students to change the voltage and record the current, change the voltage and measure, change the input voltage and measure voltage drop across the resistance and current. And then we ask them to plot that data on an Excel sheet. So that is what we were doing. So we were changing the input voltage, then we were recording the voltage across this and the current in the Excel file, and then we basically tried to plot it. So that is what we were trying to do here also. So this is like a normal lab experiment only which we did. So it was a basic Kirchhoff's, Ohm's law. Now the Kirchhoff law, what it states is there are two: current law and the voltage law. Voltage law is like sum of voltage across a loop is always 0. Okay, so how this happens, like this is V1, then V1, then this is V2, then this is V3, then V4, and then similarly whatever the voltage drop is, we can see in this circuit only. So 10 volt here plus 10 volt here, so 20 volt. If we come here, minus 20 volt of this, which makes it 0. So Kirchhoff voltage law is seen here. Okay, so we can add more resistance and then the same would happen. Okay, if you want, I can show you. Okay, if I run it now, okay, so first we need to put probes also. And reference probes also we will have to put. Reference 3, then this would be reference 4. Okay, so now if I run it, so see 5 plus 5 here plus 5 here, this is 20, and then minus 20, so it will be 0. So if I let's say make some changes to the this here, so this is 10 volt and 3.3, so this is 13.3, then this 3.3, 3.3 and 3.3 will make again 10, and then this 10 volt is 20, and then again minus this, it will be 20. So again, Kirchhoff voltage law we can see easily here. We can put multiple branches of multiple resistance and then ask students to make read these voltages and then prove that okay, the Kirchhoff law is holding right here. So that we can try to do. Okay. Any questions on this? Any questions on this?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir, if you want to add one more voltage source anywhere in between, we can connect similar to V1 and we can try now, sir.
Voltage source if you want to add, I will just copy it and I will place it here.
Reverse the polarity, sir.
Reverse the polarity. So let me just delete it.
So that
Copy it. I can just rotate it. Connect it here like this. And then here like this. So tell me, now the Kirchhoff law is holding or not? Is
Yes, sir,
Kirchhoff
it's
law holding in this case?
20 and minus 20.
Exactly, it is working because the voltage supplies are 20 only. So if I make it, let's say 2 volts. So now you can see 3 plus 9 is 12. Then you have 3 is 15, 3 18, and then 2 20 minus 20. Okay, so the complete thing is working as expected. Okay, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so any further questions or should we move forward? Well, I'll move forward now. Okay, so if you want to save this circuit, what you can do, you can name it something like basic electronics lab. Okay, and then what I have to do, I have to just save. Okay, so all the circuit that I make will be public circuits. Okay, I can add tags here like basic electronics or any tag. Kirchhoff's voltage law. Is it? Basic electronics, basic concept Electronics.
Grace ji, please.
So all these
your
tags
mic.
I can put in description also. I can click OK. So if I
Sir,
go under one
sir, we
second.
cannot save it as private, no, sir, because it is not
No,
licensed
free
one.
in free version we cannot make it private. In free
Okay,
version it
sir.
has to be public only. So
Okay,
that's
sir.
sort of a community what we are doing here.
Okay, sir.
If I go under my circuits here, you can see that I have this basic electronics lab here. And if I open it, you see the two tags that have basic electronics lab and Kirchhoff voltage law. And I didn't add any description here. And I have 14 circuit total, it will show you. And it was created 0 minutes ago. So anyway, I don't need it, so I will delete it. Even let's say one thing also I would show you. I forgot to show it in the last one. So if I run this circuit here, so there is some wave. Okay, so now if you want some data, you can export the file like schematic file. You can export the graph image, or you can download the graph data in Excel in CVS format. So if I do that, one second. First up, let me just, you see, CSV file it has downloaded. 1 second, it is opening. You see, it has given me all the data. X and Y coordinate. There were two probes, P1 and P2. That's one. The input and the output probe. Okay, so both are same only. Okay, so you see, I can download both of the traces, XY coordinates. Okay, so your students can make the circuit and then download these files to show you the results. Or what they can do, they can export the schematic image also. So schematic image is what? Just open it.
Sir, to mute, sir, we are hearing noise from this.
I guess someone's mic is open.
Rudish, sir.
I guess someone's mic. Okay. So okay, so you can download the schematic diagram also, this image file. So it will help them report their experiment, and then we can download the grapher image also. The grapher image is like this. So what graph we have? Okay, then grapher data is also there. So these things will help them record their experiments. Okay. So this portion I just wanted to explore, that we can do all this also. So anyway, we will try this now. So now we only have few minutes left, so I'll move forward to the basic rectifier circuits. 1 second. So rectifier circuit, what we need, we will need one AC source. Okay, we will need a PN diode. Okay, what else do we need? Can anyone tell me? If let's say we are making a half wave rectifier, what do we need now?
Resistor.
Say one resistance we need. Okay, now what else?
Just need to connect.
CR probes also we will need. We will need a ground also. So now we will just connect it. So this is a pretty simple one. So we don't need much here. So we'll just quickly make it. Okay, and then our ground will be connected here. Okay, so if I put a voltage probe here, okay, and I will put another voltage probe here. Okay, so if I run it now on the split screen, you can see that we have a half wave rectified waveform. So if I invert it, what would happen? What would happen if I invert the diode here now?
No
We get
output.
the
As
negative half.
Negative part.
Negative half will be given. So right now we were getting positive half. So what we will get now is a negative half. So let me just run it. You see, now we are getting negative half. Okay. So this is a basic half wave rectifier circuit. Obviously, the waveform is not proper because one thing is that the part number that we are not using a specific part number, and as I said that we can use a specific part number also. Let me just show you. We have one specific diode also. General purpose diode. Okay, this one. So let us just try to use this also. Okay, so connect our probes back. If we run it now, so you see that time difference has reduced a bit, which you were seeing earlier. That is because initially we were not using a particular part number. It was just a basic spice model of a generic diode. Okay, so now we are using a specific part number, so it is behaving as per that part only. Now I told you in between that you can take any generic part and make it a specific part number also. So let me just tell you how you can do it. Let me take back that generic part number. Okay, so now if I double click on this part, you see it will show me its specification here. Like it's a diode. Okay, then the saturation current, the ohmic resistance, emission coefficient, breakdown voltage, and under advanced parameters I have all this temperature, initial device voltage, transient time, all this parameters here. Okay, so what we can do, we can change these parameters here and save it. So what will happen, like if I want to use it for some particular part number, so I can just open the spec sheet of that part number and I can add all this data here. Okay, so based on that, then it will act as that particular part number only. Okay, so that is one thing that can help you if you want to use some specific part number, but I guess more or less this will
How
do.
it will be? Excuse me, sir.
Sorry.
How these specifications will be saved? Where is the save option?
Description. 1 second. So you have to create a custom component model here. So that is that is a process that you can do here.
Okay.
Now, so tutorial you have to go through this one. So you have to save it in this particular format. Yeah, okay, you can see.
Okay.
Dot model or users dot subcircuit model. So then we have to put it back here. So it will we have to create a library component actually. Then symbol also we have to put here. Then details. So the process is here itself. So you have to go through this one.
Okay. And one more question is coming to my mind. Why the display is showing out of date? These out of date.
Okay, this is because earlier, let's say what happened. 1 second. Like, okay, if I run it now and if I stop it, okay, so what happens that it is showing me some voltage here, some voltage here. Okay,
Okay.
So right now I'm not making any changes in the circuit. So let's say what I do, if I make the voltage as 1.1. So in this case, the voltage probe is showing the data which was shown earlier itself, right?
Okay.
But
Okay. That is
obviously
outdated. Okay.
this will not be the correct data if I run the circuit now, because I've made some changes. So that is why it is changing, that this data is out of date. This is not the correct data for the current circuit. Okay, so
Right.
so that way it is
Thank
showing you out of date. So that indicates that there has been some change in the circuit, and now you have to basically run it again to see the new data. Okay, so if I stop it now, so you can see that this is coming in like this, and if I make another change now, so it will show me out of date. Okay, so this is the basic circuit. Any questions on this?
Sir, can you repeat why it's showing out of date? Can you repeat, please?
Ma'am, like right now you see I've ran the circuit, and once I stop it, it has shown me some data. Okay, like voltage was at this point was this, and voltage at this point was this. Okay, so now let's say what I do, if I make any changes to the circuit. Let's say I change input voltage 1.1. So what happens, that the data it was showing me was for 1 volt input, which was previous. Now I have made a difference. Now I have made a different input voltage. So this data is not holding correct here. So this data is not correct. That is what it is showing. Like this out of date means some changes has happened in the circuit, and this data is not correct now. So to find out the correct data, again you have to run the circuit.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay.
So that way it was showing you out of date. Okay. So now I will quickly make a full wave rectifier.
Sir, one more doubt.
Yes, sir.
How you transported the data from this to Excel sheet? That was
I'll show you,
manual.
sir.
We have to
Yeah,
type
that was
manually,
manual.
or
That is manual, sir. I'll show you now. So we'll
Okay.
make the circuit, and I'll show you that process again. So this is a full wave pi rectifier, full wave bridge rectifier with the pi circuit. Okay. So this is a basic circuit. Let me just try to make it. Okay. So we will cover this also, and afterward I'll show you how you can make download the Excel data also. So we'll need 4 diodes. Okay, then we have to connect them. Okay, this is our voltage source. Okay, so the voltage source will come. Oh, sorry. Here, and the second one will come. Okay, so now what do we have? We need 2 capacitor and 1 inductor. So 2 capacitor and 1 inductor, and obviously I guess 1 resistance also we will need. Okay, so how they are placed? Okay, like this. And then this will come here. Okay, so let me now just connect it. This is connected to this point. And there's another point. Yes. Okay. Now we need a ground. Where is it? And we can put here. Okay, now we will put our probes. So our input signal is this, and our output signal is this. Okay. So right now I have not made any changes to the these values. So let us just take the standard one only and run the graph. Okay. So there are some issues. Let us just try to make the changes. Okay. Something is wrong here. Wait a second, let me just decrease the frequency. Okay. Something is not wrong. 1 second. Something is happening. Let us just try to again do. This has no effect here. What about this? This also does not affect anything. So I'm just using right now hit and trial method to see what is happening here.
The output seems to be okay, sir.
No, I know, but the input has clipped.
Input.
That is what I'm interested in. Output seems to be is fine, full wave rectifier, but the input is something clipped, which I somehow want to see what happened here.
The reference.
What now?
Can you introduce reference? Maybe that may be the mistake.
Reference is okay, ma'am. Reference is fine here. In this case, reference is not creating any issue.
Okay.
Just put something here.
Actually, I think the problem is of reference, that AC reference is also taken as the DC reference. That is the problem, sir. We have to give a reference probe on AC side.
On AC side, you're saying?
Then it will be solved. On AC side, we have to depute this reference.
Here you're saying, sir?
Yes. Now it will be okay, I think.
So one second. And now maybe this you're saying we have to make reference 1.
Yes, sir.
Let us just see. Okay, I guess you are right. Yes. So we are getting this graph now. So we'll split the screen here and then we will try to see if we can make it. It should happen. 1 second. There are no changes. Why? Some changes should happen. Can you, I guess some more issues are there. 1 second. Let me just show you another circuit.
Second reference, sir, for the output side probe.
Sorry, ma'am.
Sir, output doesn't filter. Huh? Output doesn't filter.
That is what I was looking now.
Sir, for the
Because output
side
should filter
probe,
also.
can you show the reference?
1 second, ma'am. Yes, this one you should see. But this is the same circuit only, which I guess we made during the last training we had. Okay, so here we have all this. So here we have given actually reference to the output. Okay. That was the issue.
Output is across registers, sir.
Exactly. So that was the mistake we did there. Let us just change that. Because you see this point is coming here and this ground should not be here actually. Ground should be at this point. And this reference should be basically here. This should use it.
Sir, actually speaking,
yes, sir.
The input side AC is there. It will be having a terminal of line and neutral. It cannot be grounded. This is also wrong, sir. This should not be grounded at all.
So this ground is basically for reference purpose, that this is the ground level. Generally this will work. The graph that I'll show you. Let me just show you.
Okay.
Now if we make any changes, it should. Again, it is not working. Okay.
Remove the ground only, sir. Input side also.
What, ma'am?
Remove the ground.
That is required.
If I remove the ground, it will not run now. You see, no ground.
Okay.
So ground has to be there in the circuit. This is same only. Given menu we are getting full wave, but why we are not getting any filter effect is what I want to know. Sorry. So anyway, this one is a fine circuit. You can take a snap of it. Maybe we did some error in designing that circuit. So if I change this here, you can see the ripple factor. Okay, sorry. The ripple factor changing. Where is it? Okay, so if I change it a little, see the ripple factor is changing. I change this one. Again, a little bit of changes are there. And even with this also we have some changes, you see. So this is the filter effect that we were talking about. So maybe that circuit was not properly designed the connections were somewhat not right. Okay, so this is a better circuit. So this is how you can design all the circuits, and if you want to download the data, then you can just click here, export grapher data, and then it will download a CSV file. You see this file. So if I open this file at 1 second, not this file. It would be under downloads. Will we rectify this here? So you see, you can see the values here. Okay, so this is the complete data. You can download the Excel file here now, and then also you can download the schematic. Schematic would look like this. Okay.
Excuse me, sir, for interrupting. Skip from my side.
Yes, ma'am.
Please explain the Excel sheet that is created here again.
Okay, so ma'am, create. You see, there are two probes that are there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one is this green one, which is PR1, which is our input, and the another is blue one, which is PR2. Okay, so if we look at the data, obviously you see there would be x-axis and y-axis. Every probe will have two axes, x and y. X being the time, which is you see. Let me just expand this a little. You see, this is trace 1, which is PR1. So this is the voltage. This is the interactive time. Then you have trace 2. Trace 2 is PR2. This is the time part. And then this is your voltage, PR2 minus the reference voltage also. Okay, so this is the X, the Y for probe 1. This is the X and the Y for probe 2.
Okay.
So
Could you
this is-
please tell me the following steps from where we can download it? Just I skipped.
So once you have plotted, run the simulation, just go to this,
Okay.
click here, under export, you have grapher data. Okay, so
Okay,
once you
sir,
click
thank
here,
you.
the Excel will be downloaded.
So from downloads, we should copy it in Excel, sir.
No, you just have
From-
to download this file. So what will happen
Huh.
if you click on this grapher data, it will download one Excel file. Here it is.
Excel file only. Okay.
So this file is downloaded in your desktop now. So if I go under downloads, you can see I have this file. So this is the CSV file. Okay. So you can save it as it is. You don't need to copy it or paste it somewhere. Any further questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so if there are no questions, maybe we can stop for today.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yes.
That DC sweep and AC sweep in grapher mode, can you explain in
That we will look tomorrow, ma'am, because tomorrow we'll be working at some circuits where we need to do frequency sweeps and all. So there I'll show you those.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, could you please provide the recording that is just that you have done in this lab? Is it possible?
What?
Recordings that you are recording this all video.
Recording, I guess NITTR people will share with you. Dr. Dhaliwal
sir.
and their team.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so if there are no questions, maybe we can stop now.
So, can you explain how this half-wave rectifier works with filter?
That we can try, ma'am. Like I was just taking some standard circuits with me. So full wave rectifier, bridge rectifier, and then full wave rectifier without filters. So you can add all the filters and then try to work. Like 1 second. Like this bridge circuit basically will give you the full wave rectified, like the sine wave with full rectified, and then this circuit will try to help you reduce the ripple factors. Like you were seeing that if we increase this particular resistance, your ripple factor will increase. Okay, similarly, if we change the value of this, you see, because you see capacitor actually doesn't like any changes. Sorry, this inductor doesn't like any changes, so it will try to slow that change down, and the change can be routed through this part and back to the I guess ground level somewhere. But these capacitors will bypass that AC part, and this inductor will try to reduce that change, slow that change. That is the characteristic of these devices, and that is how we with these devices we are able to reduce the ripple factor.
Sir, the changes you are making in circuit, their corresponding change in the waveform is visible. This is on multi-sim live only, or you have a
Multisim
another?
live, sir. Multisim live.
Okay.
I don't. We are in browser, sir. We are using Google Chrome right now.
Okay.
There's no other
Okay.
software I'm running right now.
Okay, sir.
So that is why I was saying that it is a very good platform to work on.
Sir, can we see VRMS, V average, all those stuffs in this output, sir? Can we measure it? Or,
Yes, ma'am. Once you have the data, the graph data, you can do all sort of calculation there.
calculation has to be made by us.
Yes, ma'am.
It won't be observed in the screen.
No, no,
Like,
no. That you have to make on your own. Oh, no, there are some options I forgot. So under this type here, you can go to this track and you can try to measure some parameters like between this and this point. So you can measure some delta X and all these parameters. I'm also not very familiar with this option, so I will check it out, and maybe in tomorrow's session we can explore it a little.
okay, sir.
So there is some feature you can use to explore.
That is the cursor location of the graph. We can observe
Yes,
what
ma'am.
is the value. But say, for instance, in our rectifiers and all, we used to measure average value of the voltage, RMS value of the voltage, and
That
so
will
on.
be on the y-axis.
Factor. So if it is available on the screen to your right side, where if it is available as a data, we can cross check and we can tell the students with the values.
Yes, ma'am. We can. I'll look into it now.
Thank you,
What
sir.
is the scenario that is? Okay, so you can see the y-axis is also here now. So if you want to measure these parameters, you can see like C1 cursor 1 is at this voltage and cursor 2 at this voltage, to delta y is this. So you can try to measure these things, and then you can maybe put in y-axis also, and then you can measure the time variance also to measure the frequency. So I guess these options are there. Okay. Any further question, or should we end?
Thank you so much, sir. There are no more questions in the chat box.
Okay, so we'll start again tomorrow with our advanced lab, I guess.
Thank you so much for sparing time for the session, sir. I request all the participants to join back again at 11:30. The next session is at 11:30. Thank you so much.